If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, otherwise they'll kill you. George Bernard Shaw. The truth is out there. It connects us. The truth of a man telling me if I had a nuke, I would give it to China. The truth of mothers letting their daughters twerk in a parking lot. The truth of MRI results. The truth of desire. Private guilt. The truth that skinny girls don't like hanging out with fat girls. Same goes for football players and bookworms. The stink of a paper mill. The truth of bias. The truth of food. The truth that anyone under 30 is socially awkward. The truth of loneliness, jury nullification, human exploitation, the truth that you can never tell the truth because of fear. Try sucking a truth out of a lie. We opt out of truth, and truth becomes a scapegoat. But we need truth. Personal growth and contribution depend upon it. These 3 core values help with design and redesign: substance, procedure, material, and social issues. COVID brought issues and will continue to do so. Education integrity is one out of many. Will remote learning raise or lower the educational bar? As a new media design student, I should be jumping out of my skin with happiness. The world is my new media oyster. But I don't. I find fear. The fear that comes from truth. The truth that we will post selfies and profile pictures, but do not turn on our screens when in class. The online classroom needs to be redesigned. No hiding, screens on. Maybe you're a self-righteous prick that talks too much. Don't hide. Maybe your hair is a mess. Don't hide. Maybe you don't want to turn on the screen because no one else has the screen turned on. So what? Guilty as charged. Accept who you are and use that to set growth and contribution goals, because your truth, not a perverted version, matters. Think about it. What if you were the educator? How would you feel if your computer screen reminded you of a graveyard, complete with headstones? Empathy goes both ways and is contingent on truth. Jonathan Cole, in a January 2001 article, Empathy Needs a Face, in the Journal of Consciousness Studies, writes, "It is also suggested that empathy itself is supported by and requires the embodied expression and communication of emotion that the face provides." This begs the question, why does truth matter? Ira Hyman, PhD, in a December 29, 2016 online article, "Does the Truth Matter? What Does It Mean to Live in a Post-Truth World?" writes, "We all need to know the truth if we want to be able to behave rationally." Okay, so this brings me to bullshit, a perversion of truth. I know most will think keeping video off is okay. I think it's bullshit. Kinda like this bag over my head. Check out this video clip on Bullshit Part 1, a conversation with Harry G. Frankfurt, author of On Bullshit, published by Princeton University Press, September 18, 2007.
We're here with Princeton University Professor of Philosophy Emeritus, Harry Frankfurt, whose most recent book is On Bullshit. Professor Frankfurt, thanks for popping in today to tell us about bullshit. I'll confess I haven't read all of it. It's a little on the longish side. So I'm hoping that you can just sort of take us to the root of the matter. I understand that this has its inception in an essay you wrote several years ago, and it's become something of a cult classic. What first brought you, a professional philosopher, to bullshit?
It was largely because I think that respect for the truth and a concern for the truth, these are among the foundations of civilization. And I was, for a long time, kind of disturbed by the lack of respect and concern for the truth that I seem to observe in much of the speech and writing that was being produced. And bullshit is one of the deformities of these values. So I thought, try to find out more about it, try to find out what it is.
But my truths are not your truths. In Slack, I created a poly and asked 2 questions of my fellow NMD 200 students. During remote learning, should video be required? Stella wrote no. not everyone is feeling their best, whether it be sickness or depression, or they just don't like being on camera. I think professors should respect students' comfort a little more. Armando replied, undergraduates should not have to have their video on. However, graduate students should have their video on because they operate at a different standard and are oftentimes official representatives of the school, such as TAs, although they should not be obligated. Alyssa wrote, no. I think not everyone is comfortable showing their home life, or they have things going on simultaneously as their classes aren't in their control. Hannah replied, yes, as a check-in, but not always for the entire duration of the class. Maybe a check-in at the beginning, middle, and end of class. Some students aren't comfortable having their face on screen the whole time, so checking in quickly to show the other students and the instructor that they are there and a real person they can interact with is helpful. Joey, no. From my home, video is not always possible to upload while maintaining a connection to the Zoom call. We have maximum internet offered at our house without resorting to satellite internet. The next question. How can students show up more truthfully in the classroom during remote learning? Stella wrote, being present. You don't need to be on camera, but at least say something that contributes to the discussion, even if it's a small sentence. Armando wrote, as long as students show up to participate earnestly, then video on or off should not matter. That means no phones nearby, no other classwork should be taking place, all attention should be focused on the class as if they were actually present. Alyssa wrote, I think contributing to class discussions is important, whether that's in breakout rooms, the chat, or verbally. It shows that a student is paying attention and is willing to learn more deeply about a subject. I also think class-wide participation helps other students learn and want to participate more. Student participation makes discussion more interesting than just a teacher talking at us all, especially virtually. Another thing that comes with class-wide participation is more perspective on different subjects. Kana wrote, I like this question because truthfulness is based on our perception, and that's entirely a singular experience, but in a class or group setting, it has a chance to become a shared experience. The sharing of these truths helps us learn new things, but also challenge what we're taught that might not necessarily be true. I honestly think this is a whole lot easier in person due to the face-to-face interaction, and some of that's lost to Zoom. I doubt I'm the only one with the inherent fear of interrupting someone because I can't see their mouth. So if you can somehow solve that issue of talking indication, I think it would open up the floodgates to that whole sharing process. Joey wrote, interaction through the text chat, emoji, reactions, voice are all great ways to indicate that you are present and listening while not requiring video. Participating outside of the Zoom call is also something to strongly consider. What if we meet in the middle to find a solution? The University of Maine uses Zoom. What if we added a filter similar to the very popular anime or cartoon filter on Snapchat to represent our beings, albeit more realistically? These filters would track your facial features in real time, pick up tiny details, and are you, but are not you at the same time. And your voice would be your voice. A sort of gateway to total truth and freedom.